Howdy howdy and welcome back. As you guys know, I don't normally do Ark videos, but I've seen some people struggle on the server I'm on to find ways to tame the Astrodelphis or space dolphins, and I decided it was about time that I shared the best method that I have found. This is a method that works with Quetzes and text GIFs as well as any other platform dino, because those two can move in space. Very interested in trying it on the Paracetheum. Just for the memes, could be a good one to see. I'm on a server with S+, so the 4 high walls allows me to build beyond the normal building constraints, but these restrictions are higher on a platform saddle anyway, so this is definitely something you can do on a vanilla server. I've used a skiff for that reason, and because I'm using a fresh character, so I'm not quite at the level for a Quetz platform saddle. I believe it's 96 for that, and the skiff unlocks at a lower level. It's actually a very similar method to what I used to tame a phoenix. This is how I used to trap them. However, this build, as you'll see, doesn't need to be fully enclosed. And yeah, so let's take a look. And here is my build. Yep, nothing attractive, pretty much bog standard. Just a couple of foundations and then a couple of 4 high walls. The key thing is, though, the shape I have made on the inside. Now, as you noticed, I also didn't have it closed in, and the reason for that will become clear. So the first thing you do is you find the level you look for. I found a 150 here. Unfortunately, it's also with a 145 and a 135. Not to worry, there's plenty spawns out there, so it's just a case of killing off any of the undesired levels, leaving the 150 on its own, and as quickly as possible back onto your mount. Fly out of aggro range, because yeah, it will do damage to both you and the skiff. And once you've gone out of render range, there you go, it'll de-aggro. It's just a case of turning the beast around. And when you have it on its own, this is the trickiest part of the entire tame. There's your 150, as you see. My skiff will heal itself. And instead of flying after this for the next 10-15 minutes in space, hoping not to mess up the tame in any way, the idea is that you capture it in this box build. Now, the method behind this, or the mechanic how this works, is you need to be moving for the box itself, so for the walls to, say, de-render momentarily. They'll still appear to be there, but it will allow dinos to move through them. So what you're trying to do is capture your tame in the box and stop moving once he's in there. As you see, it's not the easiest thing to do, so I'm just going to speed up this part of the footage right now until we have him captured. And there we go. Now this is quite bizarre. Once you square it up on any one of these 3 sections, it's just a case of dismounting, and it doesn't fly away. This wall here at the end does not need to be closed in, which means it's easier for you to get in and out. The same with the top being open. So once you get its aggro, you trying to get to the point where it pets. Now this one, they're all a little bit different. This one in particular, it is drawing my aggro for quite a bit, but once you're in, it's a simple case of just getting in and petting it. And there's your first pet. As you see, the inventory for taming pops up on the bottom left. And from there, the method that works here, as you can see, it's trying to swim away, and it's simply going nowhere. It will turn on the spot, but it doesn't go up or down in elevation, so this is why the top doesn't need to be open. And it is simple as that. You can stand perfectly still if you want. The odd time he might turn to take a nip out of you, but this does not in any way affect the taming effectiveness. And that's essentially it. You have to move nowhere because you're on a skiff, or you can get onto a saddle. You can take any drink or food. Space does have a higher consumption, so you're quite free to work away there. And that's it. It can't get any simpler than that. And if it does, by all means feel free to share it, because I intend on having lots and lots of these themes out there. This is definitely something that I want to breed. Now this is the third one that I have tamed at 150. And the max level that I have been able to achieve by this method, or any other method, is 204. Because as you can see, the taming effectiveness drops every time you feed it element. But the catch is, you can only feed it element. So I'm not sure if this is intended or a bug, but right now the only thing I'm able to do is a level 204. Now the next thing as well is, if you're wondering about the actual, is it random or what's going on, why is it the element different each time you feed it? When you pet it first, there's the pet, it tries to run. This is the new cycle. And now it's running. Once it stops fleeing, yeah, it might take a nip out of you. You can go and you can pet it again now. This time you'll pet it once, and then you'll give it one element. There you go, one element. Now it flees again. The next time you'll have to pet it twice, and then you get to feed it 3 element. Going to check now. There's your pet. There's your next one, and then 3 element. There you go. And then it'll flee again. Once it stops again, you'll be able to pet it 3 times and feed it 5 element. So we're just going to quickly watch that. There's your 1 pet. There's number 2. And there's... Sorry, that was 3. I can't count. And there's your 5. So it flees again. And then the final of this cycle is 3 pets, and then you get to feed it 10 element. And that is the end of the cycle. To tame a 150, it takes, I believe, exactly 100 element, and that is 5 feeding cycles. So I can quickly do the maths on that. Yeah, it's just shy of 100 element. But there's 5 feeding cycles, because on the 5th cycle, it doesn't quite meet the 100% tamed bar, but it seems that Ark have decided that you've reached it. The final 10 element you give it bumps it up the final 12 or 14% that you need. So I'm just going to fast forward as we go through the next set of cycles up till the final point. And now here we are for the final cycle. That's your pet, and then a 10 element, and as you see, it just jumped up by the final 13%. And it's as simple as that. Then you can pick it up in your soul ball or in your cryo chamber, whatever you happen to be running on your server. Simple as. And that's it. Tame up as many of them as you want by using this method. I'm going to personally jump back now to base, and going to quickly breed them up as well, just to show that they can also be bred using vanilla settings at the moment. (19:50). Alright, so here's the 3 of them I captured earlier on. As you see, all of them are level 204. I've got 1 male and 2 female. And it's just a simple case of going over and enable mating on them. And that's it. There is a gestation period on it. It's similar to a gacha. So on the server that I'm on, that works out to be, I think 35 minutes of gestation. and then they have a live birth, so there's no eggs. And then they have a similar raising as well then to a gacha, or actually a bit shorter than a gacha even. I believe it's very similar to a megatherium. And that's it. Okay, bringing you back here now to the gestation being fully completed. And as you see, 12 seconds left. Very, very straightforward. Once you have the setup. And I'm going to be using the Maywings, the new, another one of the new dinos part of the DLC. So I'm going to use their nursing, along with the S Plus Nanny. I want to see what the difference is of using the Maywing to not using the Maywing. And this is a perfect opportunity. So there you go. There's two of them, both higher levels than the base tames. Not the final ones. If I'm going to be breeding them, I'm going to try get the levels up a little bit more before I actually start breeding them, because I know there are better stats on both of them than what they show there. But yeah, 39 weight is very good. I believe one of them has a 39 melee as well. And yep, that is me struggling with the Maywing. I've never used it before, but third time lucky, I guess. And that's it. So I'll bring it over a little bit closer to the feeding truck, and yeah, happy days. That is it. Just make sure to enable nursing with the baby feeding trough, and you get the lovely power shower, I guess. Better off not saying too much about that, but yeah, it's questionable, Ark. It's very questionable. And that's it. They will fit in there right up until they're fully mature. And I don't even know how they get out yet. I wonder, do they come out themselves normally, or do I have to drop them out? I don't know that yet. But that's why I'm doing this, trying to find it all out, figure it all out, yeah. And we're just going to jump right to when we're on one of them, and quickly show you the weapons and that and what they can do. And here you have it. The tech saddle, I believe for this, it's only one type of saddle you can get for them. It is a tech saddle. It does run on element. It can run without element, but you might as well have all the enjoyment to put the element in. And on this server in particular, it's crazy how much element they throw at you. Make a couple of quick grenades. There's no better creature for it. But yeah, by simply tapping C, you can do your loop-the-loops. X brings you back on yourself. As you see, it does a complete 180 flip. I'm sure you've seen plenty of other YouTube videos out there already demonstrating all of the different abilities that this has. Certainly my favorite creature, since I tamed one 2 days ago. I haven't gotten out of it. There's your grenades. They can manually detonate. That's one big thing that I haven't been hearing. Manually detonate them by just right clicking again after you fire them. They all do the same damage. I have 3 different level saddles. They all do the same damage when you hold left click and fire. So when it locks on like that, that does 250 damage. And then when you want, you can do the normal strafe run. So I'm going to hopefully line up on it there now after this in a second. But on a normal strafe run, it does 100 damage per. So it's less damage, but its DPS is far higher. And it seems to be quite standard as well for the grenade damage, that a direct hit on a non-armored creature, like the Astrodelphis, the T-Rexes, any one of those creatures, it seems to do 750 damage. And there is also a splash damage. I've fired it into a large cluster of dinos, and it ranges from 250 right down to 10 damage, depending on what you're hitting, how far from the splash and all of that. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. If you have any other tips or tricks on them, by all means, leave it in the video. I just wanted to share a quick and easy way that I have personally found to tame them up. Don't forget as well, on my channel, one of my patrons has been kind enough to donate 3 €50 Steam gift vouchers. We still have 2 of those left to give away, so to enter, all you need to do is be sure to like the video, subscribe, and that'll enter you into the draw. And once we reach our next 100 subscribers on YouTube, we'll be giving away the second one, and then the 100 after that, we'll be giving away the third one. You can also catch me on stream. As erratic as it gets, I stream when I feel like it. I don't normally play Ark on stream, but I might be giving it a go. There's quite a lot of things, and I've never enjoyed a DLC as much as this one. It does, of course, have bugs. It's a bit laggy. It doesn't feel to be fully optimized. It doesn't matter. It's by far the most fun map I've ever played on, and the best creature selection that's ever been there as well. So I'll be playing lots more of this, and hopefully I'll be streaming a little bit of it as well. But until then, thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate the view. And if you have anything that you'd like to add or anything that you believe that needs to be shared, by all means, just stick it in the comments below. And until next time, thanks very much. Good luck.